Good, everybody. Let's get to these stars and sits. Yes, sir. Hit the like button on the way in, guys. Let's see. Sports Dog in the building. Big Will in the house. I say Big Will in the house. Watch your mouth. We got MVM. What's going on, guys? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got Tail Dog. We got Thomas. What's going on? What up, Thomas? What's up, Black Banks? What's up, Joel? All right, hold up. Oh. Yes, sir. Joel says, I'm at the game right now. Okay. That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. All right, let's see. So we got Sports Dog says TD 100, 18 PPR, super. I need 2 flexes. I'm using Woody Marks for 1 spot, and the second spot I got Keenan Allen, Chris Godwin, Rashid Shaheed, Ramondre Stevenson. I would go with Chris Godwin in full PPR. The reason why I'm going with Chris Godwin over Keenan Allen is a lot of mouths to feed. His target volume and his productions went down a little bit the last couple weeks, but he's still getting targets. But he got to compete with Quentin Johnson. He's got to compete with Lad McConkey, who we think is going to have a breakout game today for us this year. But Godwin, it's only Ibuka and Godwin. And Godwin got like 10 targets first week, so he should be better this week. So I'm going with the targets over Keenan Allen. Shaheed can boom, but it's very volatile over there when you got Spencer Rattler throwing him the ball. So I would rather go with Godwin. MVM says, good morning, TD. Hey, bud, who do you think I should start between Rachaad White or Woody? Let's go with Woody today. I like Rachaad White in full PPR leagues. I think Rachaad White continues to catch at least 4 passes a game. He caught 4 passes with Bucky, so maybe he even catch a couple more passes, maybe 6 today. But goal line touches worries me. Maybe they put Sean Tucker in to get a goal line carry. Maybe they don't. Woody, I don't think Nick Chubb is going to get the goal line carry like he's been doing. I think Woody has showed the last 2 or 3 weeks that I'm the better back, and he keeps getting better every week. So let's go ahead and play Woody today. I think he's going to get the goal line touches. With Rachaad White and Sean Tucker, I think these guys are going to go with the hot hand approach. MVM says, also, should I trade my Rachaad White for Marvin Harrison Jr.? Yes, I would do that if you need wide receiver help. If you can start Marvin Harrison, I think Marvin Harrison is get ready to break out and go on a tyrant. Sports Dog says TD 100, 18 PPR. Super. I picked up Hunter Henry after hearing Juwan Johnson could lose time to Taysom Hill. So will it be Johnson or Henry? I'm going with Henry. Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry is a start for the rest of the season, the way Drake May is playing. I did pick up Drake May for quarterback for Lamar Jackson. Thanks. Yes, sir. What up, Thomas? What's up, Black Banks? MH1608 says need upside full PPR. Kenneth Walker or Woody Marks. Let's go with Woody Marks. I don't think Charbonnet is going to be the same thing as Nick Chubb. To me, Charbonnet is getting touchdown upside. Charbonnet should have had 2 touchdowns last week. So that worries me about. That worries me about. I think Kenneth Walker worries me because Charbonnet can take a couple of his carries, goal line carries. I don't think Nick Chubb is going to take Woody Marks carries. Thomas says, yo, TD, facing you in our redraft league. Let's go, bruh. Louise says Harvey, Travion Henderson, or Ayo Manor. Full PPR, good luck. I'm going with Travion Henderson going against the Buffalo Bills. I'm going with Travion Henderson going against the Buffalo Bills. Thomas says, I got Fannin Jr. in my lineup. Okay, that's what's up, bro. Good play. Arthur, what's up, bro? Long time no see, bro. He says, what up, TD? Start Rico Dowdle or Kenneth Walker? I'm starting Rico Dowdle. Whoo, that's tough. Let's go with Rico Dowdle with no Chuba Hubbard. Let's go with Rico Dowdle over Kenneth Walker. Listen, it's nothing wrong if you want to play Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker he's been playing really well the last 2 weeks, but he's also in competition with Zach Charbonnet. So with him being in competition with Zach Charbonnet, that makes it a little tough to me to play him. So I would go with Rico Dowdle. He says half-point PPR starting A-Chain and ETN. Okay. CK says flex spot, 12-team standard scoring, Myers or DeMarcado. I'm going with DeMarcado in the standard scoring, even though DeMarcado is a pass-catching back, but he got goal line catches. I mean...
Yeah. Come on, Jack Rock.
Let's see here. What's up, buddy? Let's see here. CK says flex spot, 12-team standard score, Myers. Yeah, I'm going with DeMarcado, bro. The reason why I'm going with DeMarcado, he's a running back. I think he can get goal line carries. So I think that's better to play in a standard league over a wide receiver who doesn't have a lot of touchdown upside. George says pick 3 running backs: Rico Dowdle, Emari DeMarcado, Charbonnet, and Bill. So I'm going with Rico. I like Bill for the boom today. And Charbonnet. I'm going with Rico, Charbonnet, and Bill. Thomas says, was just announced that Bucky didn't report his shoulder injury till Tuesday. Shoulder injury? Could be out potentially 3 weeks. Wow. So that's good for Rashad Wright and Sean Tucker. What's going on, Sean? Sean Auguste says, Cup, Trey, Tucker, Chris Moore, Nick Chubb, 4 PPR, pick 2. Bro, all those guys are, woo. That's deep. Pause. I would go with Cup. And Nick Chubb, bro, I don't know. That's rough. Chris Moore, I don't know how many targets he's going to get. Trey Tucker is just a volatile guy. I know that Brock Bowers is out, but I don't want to go and play Trey Tucker because of that. I guess you can go Cup and Trey Tucker. I mean, that's got Nick Chubb. I don't know, with Woody Marks balling out. Let's go with Cup and Trey Tucker. I'm going to go with Trey Tucker over Nick Chubb. Black Bank says, traded Bijan for Rashid Shaheed and Chase Brown and Metcalf. Had to do something different. 1 and 3 bothering the hell out of me. I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I don't like to trade. I would have held on to Bijan, and I just would have kept going out there with the same, and I'd have lost that way. But I get it. That's why I'm like, do what you think you need to do. And this might be for the best. Who knows what's going to happen, right? Because DK might get going. Chase Brown might have a good game today, so I get it. But I wouldn't have gave up no Bijan for that. That guy, I like the trade that he made because he got Bijan, right? But I get it, bro. You had to do something. Arthur Myers says, thanks, bro, anytime. C.A. Jefferson says, start 3, Trey Tucker, Michael Carter, Kenneth Walker, or Charbonnet. I'm going with Michael Carter, Kenneth Walker, and Charbonnet. I said what I said. Kenneth Walker, Charbonnet, and Michael Carter. John Parham says, upset alert, Broncos over Eagles. What you think? I think that's very, very possible. That's why I'm telling people, don't be scared of Bo Nix. Play Bo Nix. It's very, very possible. Pat says, down bad at receiver. Should I start Darius Slayton or Devontae Smith? Let's go with Darius Slayton, man. Let's go with Darius Slayton. Devontae Smith, man, is almost like a dead man walking. And what I mean, no pun intended, it's like he's the second wide receiver on the Eagles who's already not passing the ball that much. That's disgusting, man. I don't see no way for him to have a good game unless they start passing the ball a lot, and they could. But A.J. Brown ain't even getting targets. So Devontae Smith getting targets seems a lot far-fetched to me. So I would go with Darius Slayton as the number one wide receiver on the New York Giants at this point in time. Thomas says PPR flex one, Coleman, Charbonnet, or Cup. Let's go with Charbonnet, but I think the upside play would be Coleman, but it's a little bit volatile. The safest play is Charbonnet. No Justice Hill. John Parham says, salute my guy anytime. Good. Pause. Sean says, lost Tyreek and McLaurin. Yeah, bro, I lost him too. I didn't lose McLaurin on the same team, but I lost Tyreek. John says, Sean, Terry's still out. Yes. C.A. Jefferson says, fire. Aaron Holloway says, Bucky Irvin out for 2 weeks. Yes, and it could be more, guys. It could be more time. It could be more time. What's up, bro? Nuh-uh, Njoku? Come on, bro. No, he didn't. Guys, I just smacked. I put $20 on Njoku for anytime touchdown, and he just hit. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go. That's a hun done in that bank account. Piggy Bank said he did. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about.
Fuck the sheet up. I want everybody to fuck the sheet. I need one of the losing team with the winning team.
B. Growing says half point PPR, pick 3, Wallow, Woody, Chase Brown, Pittman, Keenan Allen. I'm going with Michael Pittman. Yes, sir, Aaron Holloway. I'm going with Michael Pittman, Walker, and Woody. Over Keenan Allen, who's close. Over Keenan Allen is close, but I'm going with Walker, Woody, and Pittman. Yes, sir. Juwan Johnson is actually healthy, guys. Juwan Johnson is actually healthy. So if you need to play Juwan Johnson, you can. A sleeper, guys, I was going to wait a little bit longer. A sleeper for the day is going to be Jimmy Horn. If you don't know who to play, you out there in a deep league, Jimmy Horn just got activated and he's starting over Hunter Renfrow. He's actually the number 2 wide receiver. Nobody's talking about this. He's the number 2 wide receiver today. Now, they might have him third on the depth chart, but the coaches, the background noise is we're going to give him some targets in the slot today. It's his chance. That's why he's been talking at the podium. So it's his opportunity. They had to do something different. Xavier Leggett is not separating. Ted, we're not expecting him to separate. He's not a separate guy. He's a contest and catch guy. So he's doing a great job. But who's the speed guy that scares the defense? Everybody's sitting on top of this defense, of this offense, waiting for Chuba Hubbard and Rico. So Bryce Young needs some speed guys. That's what he had at Alabama. And I think that's why Bryce is struggling. Because, guys, every quarterback needs a guy that can make the safety back up. That way they can throw the deep ball. Even if it ain't completed, it backs up the safety. If you don't have that, it conditions your offense. So that's what's going on. And I think Jimmy's the fastest wide receiver on that team. He says G. Oh, okay, he's talking to G. No, okay. He said, G, do you like the Chargers defense today? Guys, remind me, who are they playing? I got a brain freeze real quick. Who are they playing? Ted says, would you play Spears today or wait? I will wait. Let's see it first. Washington. I wouldn't want to, but if you need to, bro, you got to do what you got to do. Chargers defense is good. They can stop teams, so it doesn't matter who they necessarily playing. So don't just look at Jaden Daniels. Oh, that's a tough matchup. I would rather go play somebody else. Like I would have played Cleveland. There's a couple other defenses out there that I would have played right now. But yeah, I would have played a couple other defenses. But if you got to play the Chargers, it's not a terrible play because that defense is probably one of the top 5 defenses in the league. Stacy says, hey, TD, Harrison Jr., Olave, or Keenan Allen? I'm going with Harrison Jr. Let's keep putting him in that lineup. I think Harrison Jr. is about to have a big game today. I want him to put him in my start of the week. So I'm going with Harrison Jr. over Olave and Keenan Allen. Thomas says, PPR flex. 1, Malik Washington, Coleman, or Charbonnet. I like Coleman for the upside. Charbonnet is the safe play. So if you need just 10 points to make sure you don't lose, then Charbonnet is a good play. But if you need upside, I would go with Coleman. Yes, let's go, Browns. Not Coleman, I mean Bill. Okay, you mean Bill? I would go with Charbonnet for the safe play. Bill still is an upside play, and Malik is an upside play. But Charbonnet still the safest play, man. So if you think you can win, you got more projected points, then just go with Charbonnet. George says, hello from England. What's going on, George? George. That's one of my favorite movies, long story short. Aaron Holloway says, White or Tucker for the next few weeks? I'm going with White. But we got to watch and see, man. It's going to be a hot hand approach. If Tucker break a long run, he might start eating into Rashad White's role. Tell Dog says, Malik Washington or Devontae Smith? Man, that's disgusting. I'm going to go with Devontae Smith. I'm not going to, listen, that's, to me, Devontae Smith, where we drafted him, to me, still makes me want to go with him, especially when you're playing against the Denver Broncos with Pat Surtain going against A.J. Brown. Maybe they try to target Devontae Smith a couple more times. Malik Washington, man, I want to say him, but what I don't want you to happen is you play Malik Washington and then you drafted Devontae Smith way before him, and then Devontae Smith has his good game and we didn't have him in. I play for that more. I don't want a player that I drafted in the first 5 or 6 rounds, and I go stream somebody over him off the waiver, and then he end up going off, and I've been trying to get him to go off all year. So that's what I don't want to happen. So that's why I'm gonna say Devontae Smith. But in a vacuum, I would think Malik Washington would have a boom play and perform a little bit better in a vacuum. B. Growing says Juwan Johnson or Evan Ingram. I'm going with Juwan Johnson. Bike Walker says Strange, Goddard, Walker for Waller for tight end PPR. Strange is the safe one. Waller is the upside. What do you need? You need 10 points to go with Strange. If you need 20-some points, go with Waller. It's the upside. Waller's an upside play, especially with Tyreek missing. But Strange is going to get his targets because he's been over double-digit points the last 2 to 3 weeks. Aaron Holloway says Wan'Dale Robinson or Ayo Manor. I'm going with Ayo Manor as the number 1. I think Calvin Ridley is no longer the number 1 on this team. I think he's a trade bait. He's going to be traded in real life. So I'm going to go with Ayo Manor over Wan'Dale Robinson, who is a PPR underneath guy. Maybe, I don't know if Jackson Dart uses that a lot. Maybe he does. Maybe Wan'Dale is going to be a manufactured target guy for Jackson Dart to make some easy throws. But I would rather go with Ayo Manor for a big play, a big touchdown. Ted Dawes says Justin Fields or Kyler Murray. In a vacuum, I'm going with Justin Fields going against the Dallas Cowboys. They're giving it up behind the dumpster. So whenever you're playing against the Dallas Cowboys, you want to start players on the other team that are stars. And Justin Fields is a star, so I want to play as a star for that team. So I want to play Justin Fields going against the Dallas Cowboys. I think Kyler can have a good game, too, with his rushing upside. But I like Justin Fields more. These overseas games hurt the lives. When they got overseas game at 9 o'clock, guys don't be coming for the live questions. They be watching the game, and I understand I get it. I would be doing the same thing too. Yep. All right, guys. Well, listen, if nobody else is coming in, I'm going to get ready to get out of here. Get ready to set my lineups. Tell Dawes says Michael Carter or Charbonnet. I'm going with Charbonnet. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. And I'm trying to be able to use a metaphor without getting in trouble. But if most of the time, guys, I'm talking to a chick, before we do anything and we get romantic, I want to see it. Like, let me lay my eyes on it, right? I'm not going in blind. Pun intended. I'm not going in blind. I want to see it. And I'm the same way when it comes to my players, right? Hold on, guys. Yes. So, me, guys, I want to Michael Carter. Let me see him go out here and get 15, 20 touches and score. I'm okay with not playing. I got players to play now. If I don't got nobody to play, Michael Carter going in easy because I don't got nothing else better, right? Same thing in real life. If you ain't got no, you ain't doing anything, maybe you can go in blind because you ain't got nothing else for you. But me, I need to see it first before I just go out and play a guy off a spot. Now, sometimes you just have to do it and it hits. So I get that. So I will go with Charbonnet. Joey, NY Cases. TD, good morning, everyone. Good luck. And take into account what my TD has to say. Yes, sir, bruh. Yes, sir. Tel Dow says, thank you, bruh. Anytime. Will Hayes says, Keon Coleman or DeMarcado. Remember, it's the safe. I think DeMarcado has a floor of 5 or 6 points. I like Keon Coleman. If you want some real true boom, I'm going with Keon Coleman. You got to go with patty cake bakers, man. Roll around, throw them in the pan. Aaron Holloway, you got to go with Baker Mayfield. But Will Hayes, I would go with Keon Coleman for upside play. That's exactly what he is. I got him in the lineup, but bro, I could have went with Darius Slayton in one league, but I was like, you know what? Keon Coleman is attached to Josh Allen Himothy. So I'm playing anybody that's connected to Josh Allen who got a nice role, I'm playing them. That's why I drafted a lot of James Cook this year because he was with Josh Allen. Aaron Holloway says Dart or Baker. That's getting a little, like I said, I'm going with Baker. Dart, that's getting a little cute, but I do like Dart rest of the season. I like Dart. But I would go with Baker. Big Going says Woody makes me nervous. I kind of want to wait one more week. I need to see it. I love, bro, you're going through the process. I will never tell you what to do once you make the process a process, whatever the process is. So I respect that big growing stuff. But I'm going to go with, man, Woody been playing, bro. The Baltimore Ravens, the linebackers are out. So I've seen enough, but if you need to see it, I'm not going to sit there and tell you need to see more. I love the process, bro. I love the way you breaking that down. Black Bank says, who's your FD FanDuel quarterback? I think I'm rolling with Dart or Herbert. I'm going to give it to you, Black. Bro, you stealing my stuff. It's Dart. But don't tell nobody. Me and you can have the same quarterback. But I'm probably going with Dart, bro. You knew it too. That's why you put him out there. Yes. Hey, pineapple juice is good for you, bro. Maybe I need to start putting some pineapple juice in this. Black laughing. Catch took over, says, what up, TD? Full PPR, start 2. Pollard, Dowdle, Downs, or Michael Carter. I'm going with Dowdle and Michael Carter. Thomas says, any worries about playing Nico and Marks on the same team? No, you got no other choice. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not overkill or anything. You playing 2 good players that's getting goal line touches against a weak defense. Teldall says, Charbonnet or Michael Brown? I'm going with, you mean Michael Carter? I'm still going with Charbonnet. Chef Boy says, Rashad White or Travion Henderson? That's tough. I'm going with Rashad White because he has a little bit better role with no Antonio Gibson and Ramondre Stevenson. Thomas says, I could swap Marks with Harvey or Ayomana. Yes, I would play Marks. I would play Marks over Harvey and Ayomana. Yes, I would do that, Thomas. Chef Boy says, appreciate it, bro. Anytime. Anytime, guys. You know I got you. All right, guys. Okay, Sergio Torres says, hey, TD, would you start a tight end? Hey, I smacked on David Njoku. I went on to put some money like you told me.
Well, go to fantasy. Come here. Come on.
But Sergio says, hey, TD, who would you start? A tight end? At tight end, Mason Taylor, Theo Johnson, Tommy Tremble, or Dalton Schultz. It's between Mason Taylor and Tommy Tremble. I've been playing Mason Taylor, so I'm going to give you that recommendation. But if you want to go with Tommy Tremble, it's tomato. Both of the guys, to me, are ranked about the same. So I would go with Mason Taylor for the upside. But Tommy Tremble's there, too. Will Hayes says Charbonnet or Coleman. I'm going with Keon Coleman. I think he has more upside than Charbonnet. Now, Charbonnet is the safe guy. If you want 10 points, he's going to give you 10 points. But if you want upside for 20 something, you didn't see, nobody saw it coming, you win the week, Coleman can provide that for you. So you got to look at your team and your projections and think about what you need to win this week. Don't get cute just because you can get cute. If you need just a good 10 or 12 points and that's going to, you projected more, then go ahead and go with Charbonnet. But if you say, man, this dude got Josh Allen, he got some boom guys, then go with Coleman. Thomas says downtown Seattle about to be a lit today with the Mariners and Seahawks in town. Yes, sir. But go ahead and ball out, man. I know you love your Seahawks and your Seattle Mariners. Big going stuff. All right, TD, good luck. Tell Dog says Chase Brown or Charbonnet. We're going with Charbonnet over Chase Brown. Mike says, G, any given Sundays, who's going off today? G, any given Sundays, who's going off today? Listen, I like Jimmy Horn. That's my sleeper. I like Jimmy Horn. And there was one more player that I also thought about, Marvin Harrison Jr. And that's not a sleeper, but I actually think he's got a great matchup. And I also like Jackson Dart. I like Jackson Dart, too. Appreciate the super chat, bruh. But yeah, I would go with Sergio. I would go with Mason Taylor over Tommy, but Tommy is just, they got the same value. All right, guys. Well, listen, I'm getting ready to get out of here. Thank y'all for tuning in to Fantasy Good Sports. I appreciate you guys. Let's get this money. Hopefully, y'all should be prepared for this week. Peace. Let's get the likes up, fellas.